Konnichiwa, this is Tina and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about a bunch of skincare empties. If that sounds like your thing, then please go ahead and channel kudasai. Here we go, the last empties of 2021. I'm pretty sure my last empties was back in May, so it's been about 6 months. So I have accumulated a bit of a stash over here, and we're just going to get right into it. Starting off with some SPF. Oh, I'm like really bright all of a sudden. The first product is the Dalba UV Essence Waterfull Plus Sunscreen. I did also include this product in my mid-year faves because it is a very elegant textured, almost like a moisturizer type of sunscreen. It is a very creamy texture that just like melts away into your skin. It is really hydrating. You can see how lightweight that is. But once it absorbs, it does not leave any stickiness. So I feel like it can work for multiple skin types. It is a chemical sunscreen, so it does not leave a white cast, although it does have a little bit of a fragrance. I would say it's a bit of like a citrusy-like fragrance, which obviously does not bother me. I actually did give my mum one of these tubes, and she has quite sensitive skin and reacts to a lot of skincare, but she did really well with this one and really enjoyed it. It is probably slightly more expensive than I would spend on this type of sunscreen, but if you can get it on a deal or on sale, I would definitely recommend it. It's just one that I kept reaching for. Like, it was very easy to reach for because it was just kind of like a moisturizer, and it was definitely one that I emptied very quickly compared to a lot of other SPFs that I've been trying. You guys know this one is like my best friend, the Nivea Sun Super Water Gel SPF 50. You guys are probably sick of me talking about this one, but it is that good. I am pretty sure I even included it in my last empties, but I finally finished my last refill pouch of this one. So I am going to be retiring this bottle. Seriously, otsukare-sama, I've had this bottle for so long, and I decided to repurchase the new bottle finally, because I feel like I kept showing this and it's very dated. So here we go. This is the old bottle, and then this is a new bottle. And yes, I have a billion other sunscreens that I'm trying, but I still went to repurchase this one because it is just that staple that I need in my life. And yes, the formula is just as good as the old one. It is a incredibly light gel texture. Usually I apply one pump all over my face, and then I apply a second pump all over my face, and I can layer it twice and it literally feels like nothing. It is just so lightweight and just like disappears into skin, and that is why I love using it as my everyday sunscreen. I have mentioned in the past that this was the one that I consistently used every day when I was living in Japan because it is very affordable. It is one of the few Japanese SPFs that come in a fairly large bottle and being a pump type, and it usually retails for around, I think, $15 to $20, which is super affordable and great value for money for the size of the product. This one does contain alcohol, but it does dissipate instantly, and it is also fragrance free. I must mention though, it is not waterproof, so if you do live in a climate that's really hot and humid, or you do sports, or you're out in the sun for a very long time, you may sweat it off. For me, it works perfectly every day because I don't get direct sunlight into my apartment, and my workplace, I essentially don't see the light of day, so I can get away with this one, and I actually like it for that reason because it removes very easily. Since it's not waterproof, I can use a super gentle cleanser and it will remove it. So I like it for that reason. But if you do want one that's going to stick all the way to your skin and be waterproof, this probably won't be the best one for you. I got my new bottle from YesStyle, which if you guys didn't know already, YesStyle are doing a month-long promotion for Black Friday this November. And I am happy to say that this product, as well as the whole Nivea Japan range, is going to be on sale this week. And on top of that, I do have an extra discount code. It is YSBFTINA, and you can get an extra 16% off on top of your purchase. So this is going to be on sale, and then you get an extra 16% off, which I don't even know how much that is. I just know that it is going to be very affordable. But the code is only valid for 72 hours, 3 days from the upload of this video. So if you're thinking about shopping, I highly recommend doing it over the next couple of days. Of course, you can use the code on anything on YesStyle, not just this product. So go ahead, go use my code and treat yourself. Of course, there is no pressure to spend money on Black Friday. Trust me, you don't have to. It's just obviously a good time for good deals. If you want to treat yourself, please do. If you want to save your money for something else, please do. Just take care of yourself, okay? Now, being the self-proclaimed hydrating toner queen, I do have a number of hydrating products, starting with 3 big jumbo toners. First, I do have the Naturie Hatomugi Skin Conditioner. I know I have mentioned this one as well countless times, but it may be the last time that I'll be talking about it for a while because I don't have any backups. Why I recommend this one is definitely the value for money. In Japan, it only costs 650 yen, and in US or Australian dollars, I think it's usually between like $13 to $15 on Amazon or iHerb. If it wasn't so affordable, it probably wouldn't be ranked quite as high in my toner books, but for the price, the quality of the product is amazing. The key ingredient is koik seed extract, or also known as Hatomugi in Japanese, or Job's Tears, which does help to hydrate as well as even your skin complexion and texture. Since it is a very watery texture, it doesn't seem like much, but the key is to layer it. It even says it in the instructions of the bottle, but you lay it multiple times to build up that hydration. But when I do use it properly, it does seriously leave my skin feeling so hydrated and plump and bouncy. Although if you are someone who is time poor, it's probably not the best one because you do have to take time to layer it. It's definitely not a one layer and done kind of product. I highly recommend it for people who have oily skin but are dehydrated, since you can get that water content, but due to the light texture, it does not leave your skin feeling sticky at all. Next, I do have the 2 types of the Kiku-Masamune skincare lotion, one in the regular and one in the high moist version. I do have a confession. I did not use these up on my face. Doing what I do have so many products to choose from to use every day, and these ones just did not make the cut to keep using it and finishing up the bottle on my face skin that I ended up using it on my body. Once again, they are great value for money. They are both 500 mils too, and usually around $15 to $20. The key ingredient used is nihonshu, or rice wine, and it does help to brighten your skin complexion as well as refine skin texture. I personally did like the white regular bottle better versus the high moist. This one is definitely more moisturizing, but it left my skin feeling sticky at times. I don't know, I just couldn't get past that kind of sticky texture. I will say you can definitely get away with less layers of the Kiku-Masamune, like 1 or 2 layers is plenty moisturizing for your face compared to the Naturie. Although out of the 3, I definitely like the Naturie one the best. It was the only one of the jumbo bottles that I used all of it on my face. I did not spare any for my body, and I used every single drop, or almost, on my face. But once again, I do have detailed reviews on all of these on my channel. I will leave the videos in the iCard as well as the description, so please check it out if you do want to know in more detail. Next, I do have the I'm from Mugwort essence. Another one I feel like I really don't need to talk about much because I've mentioned it countless times. I am pretty sure this is my 3rd or 4th bottle, and I officially don't have any backups. So I am slightly uncomfortable because it is definitely one that I always love to have around. It is a 1 ingredient product including 100% mugwort essence, and I just loved using it on the days that I was feeling irritated, especially on days where I would wax my brows and shave my face and my face was kind of like tingly and slightly like inflamed. I would layer this multiple times and then seal it in with the Klairs Midnight Blue Calming Cream, and that was it. That was the routine. That was just like, on those days my skin was just so well hydrated and taken care of, and there was no flare-ups the next day. And this one is amazing to hydrate while soothing, and I highly recommend for people who have sensitive and acne prone skin. Next, I have the Pyunkang Yule Mist Toner. To be honest, this was a bit of a letdown. It is not very hydrating. At most, it's just like refreshing, and it is because they don't include the key ingredient that their essence toner has, called milk vetch root extract. I love their essence toner. It is such a simple ingredients list, but really hydrating and also good for sensitive skin. So I would say you're definitely better off getting the essence toner versus the mist toner. I still use it up because I kept it on my bedside table, but honestly, I did use it mainly on my body too. We're going to be moving on to cleansers. First, the Cerave Hydrating Cleanser. Are we seeing a Western brand in Tina's Empties? So I bought this when my skin was super irritated towards the start of the year. You guys can see the video if you want, where my skin was just flaring up. And when I went to the doctor, they recommended just using something really, really gentle. So I was like, everyone seems to love CeraVe. It is recommended by dermatologists and is very gentle. So I grabbed this one. It served its purpose. Like, I did use it during that period, but it's definitely not one that I would probably get again. I am just not a fan of this type of cleanser where it's just like a cream formula. It doesn't foam. It feels nice on the skin, but I feel like it's never fully washed off, and it feels like there's a bit of a kind of film on the skin. A lot of people probably don't mind it. I'm just not used to it because I'm used to my fluffy foaming cleansers, and it was fine during that period, although towards the end of using it, I felt like sometimes it felt kind of tingly around my nose, and it felt like it was irritating my skin rather than doing the opposite. So if my skin did go through that kind of flare up and irritation again, this probably wouldn't be the one that I would go for. I think there's still plenty of gentle cleansers that I could use from my jbeauty, kbeauty favorites. It is what it is. It's fine, but yeah, not something that I would get again. Speaking of gentle cleansers, I did love this one, the Curel Intense Moisture Care Foaming Facial Wash. I did really enjoy this one, but there's not a whole lot to say because it is a very, very simple product. It is a gentle self-foaming cleanser that is specifically formulated for sensitive skin. It isn't anything fancy, but it definitely does the job, and it's actually hyaluronic acid free. So if you do have sensitivity to hyaluronic acid but looking for a gentle cleanser, it's definitely a good option, and it's also free from fragrance, colorant, and alcohol. These little babies, I love them, but I just have a couple left, so I will include it in these empties. I've got two powder cleansers from Japan, the Suisai Beauty Clear Powder and also the Fancl Deep Clear Washing Powder. I do have a dedicated comparison review video of these two products, so please go check it out. I'm going to try not to talk about it too much so this video is not forever long, but I definitely enjoyed having both of these. I kept holding on to them for a long time because they are encapsulated and they're like single-use products, so they lasted a long time. But even so, I got them a long time ago, so I am going to finish up the last couple capsules. They are great when you're feeling like your skin is just like a little bit clogged, a little bit rough. You want a bit of a deep clean of your pores. Both of these work great. I love taking it in the shower with me because it's so easy to just take one little capsule instead of taking like a bottle or tube of cleanser. I definitely preferred the Fancl one better. I just felt like the foam was more kind of luxurious, elegant texture, really nice and fluffy, and it did leave my skin feeling a little less dry compared to the Suisai, and I am going to miss them big time. Moving on to moisturizer, I have the Real Barrier Extreme Cream. This is one thick moisturizer, but it did help me through the colder, drier months of winter. It's essentially in the name, but it is a extreme cream for your skin barrier. So I would use it through periods where I was feeling really irritated or on days where my skin felt like a little dry, a little weakened, but not generally one that I would use every single day because she's thick. Like, it is a thick cream, and I would probably only recommend it to people who have fairly dry skin. It can be hard to work with since it's just it's just a thick texture. So I recommend grabbing a pea-sized amount and kind of warming it up in your hands first and applying. Would not recommend it for people who do have oily skin because it's going to be just way too heavy for you. Considering the price, I probably wouldn't repurchase it. I feel like there's probably something out there that is similar but more affordable because it does have a fairly simple ingredients list too. Next, I have the Purito Centella Green Level Eye Cream. Legit, this is a eye cream that everybody could use, and I know not everyone believes in or uses eye creams, but I definitely see the difference. I went about 4 to 6 weeks, I think, without an eye cream earlier this year when my skin was irritated, and I really saw the difference. At the time, I didn't notice it, but when I was looking back at videos of that period, my eye area just looks so dry, and the fine lines and wrinkles are definitely way more noticeable. So I don't care what eye cream you use, like literally choose anything. But if you don't know which one to get, this is a great one because it is Purito. You know it's affordable, it is vegan, it is cruelty free, and it is also a really light lotion texture. So even if you have oilier skin or if you're concerned about like milia buildup of it being thick, it is not. It is super lightweight. It also has ingredients like Centella to help kind of soothe and calm the skin, and also 4 kinds of peptides which are going to plump out that area and have those anti-aging effects. So highly recommend. I have the Klairs Daily Comfort Hand Wash and Hand Cream Duo. Wishtrend kindly sent out this duo when it was launched and I loved every last drop of it, but someone loved it even more than me, and that was my partner Logan. He used this so much more than me. First of all, they are a very aesthetic duo and look beautiful in the bathroom, and they both are unscented and come in a pretty generous 370 grams. So the wash does include natural scrubs, which I believe was sweet almond shell powder to exfoliate your hands. And initially I was a little bit like, I don't know if I want to exfoliate my hands every single time I wash them, because we wash our hands so often these days, but it is super gentle. It was way more gentle than I expected, so it's definitely not irritating and something you can use every time you wash your hands. I did make the mistake of kind of leaving this in the same position the whole time, which I guess is normal. Like, it's not like you move around your hand wash all the time, but it looks like the scrubs in the formula did clump up in one section and kind of settled at the bottom of the bottle. So I guess be aware of that, to make sure maybe to shake it around sometimes to make sure the scrub does spread evenly. The hand cream was also very nice. It is a light lotion-like texture, so it does sink in quickly and doesn't leave any stickiness, which I know can bother some people. And I gotta say that I do praise Wishtrend and Klairs for coming out with this during this kind of time where we are being careful and washing our hands all of the time. And I like how they put focus on putting out products to take care of your hands. And I can definitely say by having the cream in the bathroom, I was using and moisturizing my hands way more often than I usually would, keeping my hands nice and soft. Personally, I would have loved a little bit of fragrance in it, especially because it is our hands and not our face skin, but I know they specifically made it unscented for those who do have that fragrance sensitivity. So that's just my little like wish that was missing from these products. So the last couple little knickknacks, I'm going to go through them very quickly. The Pyunkang Acne Spot Patch Super Thin. Another pimple patch. Honestly, nothing crazy different, although I wonder if I left one in here. Kept one for the empties, but you can't even see it because it is super thin, and I will say that was the great thing about it. They are really thin, so once it applied, it was essentially invisible and you couldn't see it, especially compared to like the regular COSRX ones. Although I will say the adhesiveness was probably a little bit on the weaker side, so I definitely didn't mind it, and if it's cheap, it's one that I would grab again. But I think my favorites are still the Neogen, and the by Wishtrend ones are probably my favorite spot patches so far. But yeah, it was alright. And then lastly, I do have a lip balm. It is the DHC Lip Cream Flavored Moisture Honey. I thought this one was the exact same as their regular pink DHC lip balm. Maybe it is, I'm not sure, but it has a fragrance to it, supposedly, but it is not honey. I thought it was going to be a honey fragrance, but it's not, or at least I don't smell that it's honey. It's got like a herbal fragrance to it, which I don't mind, but I would probably prefer the smell of honey. For some reason, I felt like it wasn't as repairing as the regular DHC lip balm. So I kind of just trialed it for the fragrance, but if you're going to go for this, I recommend just going for their regular one. If you do want a lovely one that smells like honey, the Nivea Moisture one or the mentholated melty cream lip are my two favorite honey flavored lip balms, so I recommend those ones as well. Oh my god, we made it through the empties! There were so many and I really need to pay. Thank you for joining me on this journey of empties. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do want to see my last empties video, click here. And if you do want to know some other product recommendations, click over here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Mwah!